It's 5:04 at Scott and BR on the Mighty 1090. Yeah, tomorrow's Throwback Thursday, so today Alex was breaking out the new music. This doesn't sound like the new music to me.
I make special exceptions for Coach Fisher.
Yes.
You don't remember the
backdrop of my childhood.
You don't remember last week, Scott?
I do remember when Coach Fisher talked to some Johnny Cash.
He's a Johnny Cash guy. You got to play what he wants when he comes on.
Well, especially after a nice victory last night over San Jose State. Here is Aztec head basketball coach Steve Fisher returning to Scott and BR on the Mighty 1090. Good afternoon, Coach.
I'm smiling through the phone. I sing that song in the shower on occasion, too. BR probably does, too. I'm not going to do it for you live, but I appreciate you thinking of me and taking Johnny Cash to me, taking me back to Johnny Cash. Thank you.
Now, Coach, do you still have the LP? You still have that?
No, I don't have it. No, I know. I was a cheapskate. I just listened on the radio.
Gotcha. All right, well, the songs on the radio were free. You know, I used to try and push play and record at the same time when my favorite song would come on the radio so I could tape it on my cassette player. But
I understand that.
Yeah.
Understand that.
See, but I wasn't just cheap. I was cheap and broke. Things haven't changed much.
Yeah,
Coach, what a great win last night. And I say great not because San Jose State is very good. They're new to the conference, and they've got a long way to go to build that program. But a good win for the Aztecs to kind of feel better after what happened Saturday. Would you agree with that?
100% agree with you. We needed to get a win, and I said it was good that we were coming home to play. Didn't matter who we played. And we played a team that, as you say, has struggled. They've got 4 or 5 freshmen in their top 8 or 9. And I told Dave Wojak when we played them there, he talked to me about, his team and how far they had to go. And I said, you're a lot like we were when we got started. And he's a good coach. I know his brother better than I know him, who's now at the College of Charleston. And he's done a good job. The kids continue to play hard. They had their first win, as you know, against Nevada last week, had a week off to prepare for us. So, you always worry, but I like the energy we had and the way we played last night.
Yeah, Coach, it's and we've heard you talk about it before. I mean, the performance at the pit, and then they had to bounce back and look like the team that we're used to seeing. I mean, they did that and more.
Yes, we did. 44 first-half points. It took us 40 minutes to get 44 in the pit. So we had that at halftime last night. And the thing that we did, and I believe we talked about it on the air, we really moved the ball and shared the ball. We had more side-to-side movement of the basketball than we've had in a long time, and it paid dividends for us. You wind up getting better shots, and you wind up scoring more points than if you come down and quick shoot it off no passes or one pass.
Moving the ball, Coach, and getting an open shot is something we heard consistently yesterday as we talked to pretty much your entire coaching staff from our broadcast position up above at Viejas Arena. With that, by moving the ball, you look at X Thames, and that was kind of the big concern coming in. How's he going to get back? And he only took 6 shots last night. And he was 2 for 6 and 0 for 2 from three-point range, but 4 for 4 from the free throw line. How did X do or look to you last night?
I thought X did a really good job of setting the tone for what we talked about, and that's just what we said. Keep the ball moving. Don't settle. Turn a good shot into a great shot. And I think at times X tries to be a little too compliant, but in last night's game it was important that he do that. So I think he may have passed up a few shots that normally you would hope he would take, but he did it for a whole lot of reasons. And terrific young guy. And if we're going to win the way we want to win down the stretch and in the tournament, X is going to have to get double-digit shots, and he's going to have to score for us.
Yeah.
I told the team on Monday, I said it's not equal opportunity. X is going to shoot more than anybody else. But X, because of that privilege, can't take an abundance of questionable shots. So they know he's a guy that should shoot a little bit more than everybody else. But last night, I thought he was magnificent in the way he played.
Since we're talking about Xavier, he and J.J. O'Brien both had 3 steals. I mean, coming through on the defensive side as well. Didn't really. I mean, these guys showed up last night.
We pressed from the opening tip until we pulled it off with about 9 minutes to go, and we substituted very freely, which allowed us to kind of come after them, wear them down, and run at them with double teams. And we did do a good job of full court pressure, turning that into turnovers, hard shots, and run-outs, no question.
Mm-hmm.
Aztec head basketball coach Steve Fisher on Scott and BR on the Mighty 1090. Coach, you know that I've been a big Dwayne Polee supporter all year long. I'm wondering if Polee is showing you, look, we know about the game-winning shot he had a couple weeks ago, but he's starting to become a consistent offensive contributor. And for a guy who has kind of a reputation as being a passive personality, we're starting to see some more emotion, I think, on the floor. Are you surprised at all or just impressed with the way Dwayne Polee's progression has gone the last maybe month or so?
I'm not surprised. I'm very, very happy for us and for Dwayne. He's getting an opportunity, making the most of it, which lends itself to more on-court time. And he's gone to where now he's the first guy off the bench. Doesn't matter who we sub for. Dwayne Polee is the first guy that we bring in off the bench. If it's a single substitution, he's the first guy that comes off the bench. And his minutes have steadily gone up, and his production has steadily gone up. And I think the minutes have gone up because when he got the opportunity, when he wasn't getting a lot of minutes, he started to produce, and that gives him and me more confidence that it will continue to go. And now he's our sixth starter, if you want to speak of it in those terms.
Yeah, I mean, that's the kind of guy that when he comes off the bench, I always feel like it's fresh legs, and he plays above the rim, and he follows his shots, and he flies all over the court, and he plays tough defense. I mean, he has really become an important part of this team, Coach.
Huge. There's no question about it. Dwayne is our best finisher in and around the rim, both on the bounce, on the dribble, and you got a couple of lobs last night where it looks like he's got no chance to catch them, and his athleticism and body control allow him to not only catch it, but finish in a fashion that he makes it look easy when it's really hard. He's done a really good job. And also what he's done, when he's at the point of our defense, when he's up top guarding the guy, he's a hard guy to get around. He gets a lot of deflections, creates a lot of turmoil in our full court pressure also.
Any problem, Coach, getting the guys to focus on these last three, one game at a time?
Well, you would think not. I don't think so, BR. We are coming fast and furious down the home stretch, and our next one is a road game at Fresno State. Mm-hmm. There is maybe the hottest team in the league right now. I believe they've won 6 out of 7. They play tonight against Boise State, but they're playing really, really good basketball. We had a hard-fought 68-60 win here in a game that was close from start to finish. 8 points at the end was about the biggest separation in the second half. And they have 4 guards. They make more threes than anybody in the league, and they are a hard team to guard, and they're playing with a lot of confidence. And I know they'll be excited to have us come in on Saturday.
All right, San Diego State with only 3 regular season games left. You got Fresno State Saturday, as Coach just mentioned. Then you've got UNLV in Vegas, and then home on Saturday, March 8th for the game of the year, and that will be at home against New Mexico. Coach, yesterday as we talked to, like I said, almost the entire coaching staff, it seemed, it had occurred to me afterwards, I was telling Billy Ray this, when I walked down through the tunnel to leave, I ran into you, just said hello, a quick hello, but I remember, I think it was David Velasquez saying that Coach Dutcher had addressed the team after the shoot-around. And I just thought, well, now it all makes sense because here comes Coach Fisher and, Velasquez mentioned Dutcher. How does it work on game day where you delegate to your assistants?
We have everybody that does just a host of things. We have a point person who is the chief scout for a particular game. And Brian Dutcher will have a game. David Velasquez will have a game. Justin Hudson will have a game. Sometimes they team it up, and two of them will be on a game. But last night's game, Coach Dutcher was the point person for giving the final specifics after our shoot-around on game day. So that's what he did. But that's not atypical. That's normal. That's what we do. Yeah. I'm always involved and engaged, but Dutch last night was the guy that was telling them the last-minute specifics on what he expected to be done and who was doing what to whom.
Have you always been this much of a non-micromanager?
No. If I were your high school coach, and I could have been, you'd have hated me. I did too much of it. I was by the number. If you didn't pass from A to B and then go screen for C, you're coming out. I didn't give you the spontaneity to be a basketball player. And good players, all good athletes, have that ability to be able to read, recognize, and make decisions. And I've grown in the ability to do that. Didn't start out that way. I thought I was proving how good I was by telling everybody everything they had to do and not giving anybody any input into it. I learned very quickly that's not the way to do it.
Yeah. I mean, you just figure as most coaches are control freaks.
Right. Exactly right.
You know what I mean? And so to say, okay, I'm going to have my assistant, who's the coach in waiting, handle whatever last second prep talk, and I don't mean pep, I mean prep, right? Well, that's got to be me. I'm the coach. I speak to the team, one voice. But it seems like it's not just the players who have flexibility, Coach. It's the assistants as well.
We're a team, and everybody knows that you can't have 3 or 4 people speaking at one time. But even if you watch us on game day, BR and Scott, you'll see sometimes I'll be off talking to a coach or two, and Justin will be in the huddle before I get in, saying a few things to him. Or it might be I'm talking to Justin, and Dutch will be in the huddle talking. And then I'll come in and bring closure to what we all have talked about. But everybody's involved and engaged, and I think it's important that you do that. And there's order with it. It's not like, you got the Three Stooges jumping up and running around, everybody trying to say something different at the same time. So I think what it does, it builds respect all the way around. It also allows everyone to know how important they are to your team. And it's kept Dutch with me for a long, long time. And it's got Justin here and Mark Fisher and Velasquez and Matt Soria. We've been together for a long time.
And it's invaluable, I would imagine, once those assistant coaches start to go to other places and coach themselves, maybe head coach themselves. I mean, to have that much responsibility, I'm sure it's a huge help.
I think, every person who's coaching dreams and aspires to be a head coach eventually. And in every experience, you take some things from it. And I'm sure when Brian Dutcher takes over, there'll be a lot of things that will stay the same. But Brian will put his own stamp on who he is and the way the program is run. So it won't be exactly the same. But there'll be similarities in a whole lot of ways. Some of them the fans won't see the differences. Some of them will only be internally. But I think you learn in every experience, and then you go and have it fit your own style and personality when you get your own team.
Mm-hmm. By the way, final thought here. You say when Brian Dutcher takes over. Brian Dutcher ever in your office going, Coach, what's going to be here,
Come on.
Well, he hasn't yet. So I don't think that he will. I mean, I know he wants to move one chair over, and it's going to happen. But when it happens, I don't think he's chomping at the bit to say you have to go, and I'm not quite ready to go yet.
All right.
We're not ready to let you go.
Yeah, right.
Coach.
All right, Coach, great talking to you always. Congratulations on a really good win last night, and looking forward to another big win on Saturday night at Fresno State. And on the way out, more of your favorite, Coach. There you go. Can you hear that?
Gentlemen, I appreciate it, and also to you, Linda.
Hear that, Linda?
Fiery ring.
I love Coach.
I know you do. Coach, thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you, guys.
By wild desire.